You've created the content of your presentation, designed a beautiful slide deck, and now you're ready to deliver your presentation. But maybe you're nervous about whether you'll come across confidently or whether you'll keep your audience engaged. One thing that many speakers overlook or are not trained on are verbal cues. And verbal cues can take a speech or a presentation from good to great. For reference, my name is Diondra Filicetti, and I'm a 2-time TEDx speaker and professional trainer and author. And I want to help you elevate your speaking skills. And sometimes all it takes is small tweaks in those verbal cues. So let's begin with emphasis. I'm going to read this paragraph flat and then show you an example of another speaker using emphasis, and then reread it to you with emphasis. So at any point, feel free to pause the video to practice this exercise for yourself. Let's begin. You explained it clearly, at least you think you did. But communication isn't what you say, it's what they understand. Because if the message doesn't land, it doesn't matter how clearly it sounded. Flat, right? So let's see Simon Sinek in action with emphasis.
The real job of a leader is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in our charge. When we're junior, our only responsibility is to be good at our jobs. That's all we really have to do. And if you're good at your job, they'll promote you. And at some point, you'll get promoted to a position where we're now responsible for the people who do the job we used to do, but nobody shows us how to do that. We have to go through this transition of being responsible for the job and then turning into somebody who's now responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice. Remember, you're not in charge, you're responsible for those in your charge.
Did you notice how much that emphasis held your attention? So let's transform this paragraph. You explained it clearly, at least you think you did. But communication isn't what you say, it's what they understand. Because if the message doesn't land, it doesn't matter how clear it sounded. That completely transforms the speech and the presentation. Next is the use of pauses. Let's try this paragraph without pauses. Safety isn't common sense, it's common practice. It's the small things, checking your surroundings, following the process, speaking up when something feels off. One shortcut, one misstep, that's all it takes. So think before you move. Let's see some examples of pauses in action.
If you have only one goal, there really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being.
Here's another one.
The fastest way to take control of your life is to stop controlling everyone around you. You have no idea how much time and energy and attention you are wasting trying to control other people.
See, while emphasis guides your attention and helps you understand what parts of the speech are important, pauses give you time to digest what I'm saying. So here's this paragraph again with pauses. Safety isn't common sense, it's common practice. It's the small things, checking your surroundings, following the process, speaking up when something feels off. One shortcut, one misstep. That's all it takes. So think before you move. Next is volume changes. Let's hear this paragraph without changes in volume. It's just a quick text, right? 5 seconds, that's all. But at 60 kilometers per hour, that's driving blind for the length of a hockey rink. No control, no reaction time, boom, everything changes. Now, let's hear this with changes in volume. It's just a quick text, right? 5 seconds, that's all. But at 60 kilometers per hour, that's driving blind for the length of a hockey rink. No control, no reaction time, boom, everything changes. volume is another way in which we can guide our audience as to what parts are important. It's a different way to create that emphasis. Next is pace. Let's hear this at a constant pace. Change feels uncomfortable, uncertain, even frustrating, because you're stepping into something new without guarantees, but staying the same, that has a cost too. Now let's see an example of changes in pace.
In this Twitter tweet, meme, mean world that we've created for our children, the least we can do is consider what we've done and think about the young people, the future, and individually, collectively do the best we can to try and turn this thing around. I blame no one. I look in the mirror. On the other side of it, what an opportunity we have, because tomorrow's the first day of the rest of our lives. So what an opportunity we have to practice what he preached.
Pace is a great way that speakers hold attention. By changing the speed of the content delivery, you're pulling them in and also helping them to slow down where they need to. If you're delivering a presentation that is entirely slow or entirely fast, that lack of contrast is actually detrimental to your audience's attention and engagement. Here's another example that's pairing emphasis and pace together.
95% of our decisions are made by how you feel in the moment. And that is the problem. Do I feel like getting up?
No, you don't.
No. Do you feel like making that cold call? No, you don't. Do you feel like doing that third set of reps? No, you don't. We make decisions based on our feelings, and that is robbing you of joy and opportunity. If you accept the fact that you may never feel ready, and you may never feel motivated, and you may never feel confident, you may never feel courageous, and that's okay, but you can still push yourself forward. As you start to see yourself becoming the person that takes action, guess what happens? You build the skill of confidence and courage.
So coming back to that paragraph, let's try it with changes in pace. The green being faster and the yellow being a bit slower. Change feels uncomfortable, uncertain, even frustrating, because you're stepping into something new without guarantees, but staying the same, that has a cost too. You see how it guided your attention and held your engagement a little bit longer. Now, as a practice exercise, I'd like for you to record yourself, watch back the recording, and then evaluate yourself on the use of different verbal cues. The key is that these verbal cues should be used in combination with one another. But when you're just starting out as a speaker, it's very beneficial to practice one at a time and then bring them all together. An important piece of advice I'd like to share with you is to be sure to turn up the dial on all the verbal cues in practice. That means making your pauses more dramatic, making your emphasis more dramatic, making your volume changes more dramatic. Why? Because typically when we step on that stage, we unconsciously reduce our verbal cues, reducing our emphasis, reducing our pauses. And so in practice, we need to dial it up so that it comes across more effectively when it comes time to present. I hope that this helps you present like a pro. Follow for more content or connect with me at drivenbyco.com to explore speaker training for you and for your team. All the best. Thanks for watching.